Hello again. I think we're on. We usually are by this point. So last time, I fixed all of the initial problems with my mission system, which I didn't realize wasn't actually working correctly because I hadn't tested it to the extent that I thought I had, which is a common problem, I guess, but there you go. So I think I'll go over what it currently does and hopefully end up pushing it closer towards where it needs to be. My hope is to try and come up with a system that I can control uh, the nature of what the missions are, how they spawn, what they spawn, and all that kind of stuff, which it kind of does already. There's just a few exceptions to it. So I'll basically need to come up with a couple of. Let's think about this. I mean, realistically, probably help to implement a mini map and things, and overworld map and quest system and all that kind of stuff. But at the very least, for now, I can kind of track it all in code. But we'll see how far that gets. Um, so basically, what we've got at the moment is there's a mission manager. It's somewhere in here. There we go. We've got mission area as well, which I need to look into. There's a lot of stuff to this that I didn't actually end up making use of. Well, that's interesting. Did I do that correctly? I think I did. Hang on, let me just check this method real quick. Yeah, I did. Okay. Sorry, let me go back. Right, so yeah, okay, so if I simulate this, so what we've got is objects that are acting as missions, and they generate these cubes, and these cubes essentially represent the areas. So if this is a larger scale game, you would obviously have there's a quest in this location or something, so you go there and as you can see, it spawns loot boxes and AI, and the loot that spawns is dependent on the mission type and all that kind of stuff. So if we go into the outliner, can I make a let's just call it mission. Oh, there we go. Nice. So there's mission areas which it creates. That's okay. I'll look into that later. So if I select this mission, we can see it's the mission type secret, which doesn't have any unique data to it at the moment, which I'll fix at some point later. That's a content thing. We've got this, which is a medical mission. So you can see it's actually spawned a medical crate here. You've got this one, which is a civilian mission, hence it spawns these generic crates. And then this one, I assume, is going to be the same. Yeah, civilian. Do I have a mission complete, mission type? Oh, yeah, there's another property I want to have shown. So missions currently, they'll spawn loot and AI regardless of a mission being active in the area. And then they'll sort of swap out the loot boxes and things when the missions respawn. So you could have like a map with multiple mission areas, but only 3 of them are active. And then when a new mission gets created, it will override the loot boxes and the AI that are in that area or it will like flag it to be overridden so that if there are no players in the area, it will trigger. And it's this mission spawned property here that I needed to mark with U property so I can see it, because this defines whether or not it actually is an active mission. Now I also, those debug boxes, this I think sets it to be infinite, yeah, persistent. So realistically, I'd want to replace these boxes so that maybe they change color to represent what the mission type is, and that they change to nothing if there's no mission there or something. But I guess I'll faff around with that another time. Yeah, and so basically how this generally works is if there's no player in the area, it triggers a mission spawn timer. So let's see. Yeah, when it does spawn mission internal, if not, and spawn mission. Yeah, okay. Oh, only if it's... Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so if you tell an area with a player currently inside it to spawn the mission, one of the most annoying things I found in other games is where the mission actually just appears in front of you. So you'll be walking around, empty area, loot boxes still to open and things, and then suddenly the game's like, have some AI and some different loot, and you'd have just cleared the whole area, and then suddenly everything gets reset and you just get absolutely ruined, basically. I can't even remember which games usually do that, but there's certainly a few that I've played, and it's just pisses me off every time. That's a interesting way of doing it. Huh. Why is this? I've got this players list and it's doing... Oh, it's just keeping track of an integer and just minusing it. When I could just have a array of... Hang on. Let me... So if I go into here, instead of this... Why do I do this? Right. So this is just going to be this, and it's going to be a actor. Is that the base component? Yeah, a actor. Yeah, it's such a backwards way of doing it. But, oh, whoops. Okay. And it should be erroring over here. Oh, it's multiple boxes that have players. Okay, how? Maybe I shouldn't mess with this quite so immediately. Let's leave that for now. Oh, it creates multiple mission areas, I see. Oh, this is so... What this does is it spawns... When the mission starts, currently I've just got it so you set the dimensions and it just creates a box of that size. But the idea is would be ideally to create multiple areas in a sort of a grid pattern around the mission, and they all trigger the on overlap, end overlap system, and then you can create differently shaped areas to be a bit more specific. So I'll leave that for now because I was a bit good at future thinking, I suppose, there. So yeah, sure. Right, so what we want to do is actually make the AI spawn differently based on different kinds of missions and add the secret missions so I can make some custom loot boxes and things. So welcome to this monstrosity. This is the code I use to set up data for the entire game, basically. Let's see. So this is creating stuff here. It's not really much going for medical, so I'm going to give them a pistol. They probably want food and water as well. And let's say medical gets the SMG for a bit of variety. Okay, cool. So that will determine items that can spawn. So now let's say, so currently I've just got it so all of them, so regardless it spawns this test AI, which is great, but I don't need that anymore. So I've already evidently set these up to spawn specific types. Now I have done this in a way I wasn't quite thinking of, so I do need to check how it determines which ones to spawn. I was hoping to have just put one loadout into each area. So let's have a look. So when this determines who to spawn, character. Yeah, so this is where it gets these loadouts. So this is the table of this information. So this is saying when you spawn a medical mission, get the loadout of doctor, which will be here, for instance. So all of these are loadouts. So this is like a default setup for the AI. So it's their health, their movement speed, their types, what items they have equipped in each slot by default, and then it spawns ammo based on that, and so on and so forth. Currently, this will just spawn exactly this. It will spawn 2 doctors, medical staff, guards, medical guards B, sniper guard. So I think what I want to do differently. I kind of want to add more information to this. So if we wanted to say you have like a minimum, so you could set, say there's always 1 or 2 of something, and then there's a minimum of 0 in some things, and then it will, in here, I can check its minimum, and then it will, rather than doing this once, it will just loop through all of them. So that's one possibility. Shall I do that? I think I'll leave it for now. So if I just hit go on this, that should mean if I go here, So rather than them all spawning the same AI with the same weapons and everything, it will spawn well, with all of these now, all the different ones. So if I do this and I add secret, and then we go down to let's do, so if I do, I want, oh, whoops. So the secret missions are gonna have like this, maybe it's like a secret lab, right? So if I set these to secret, so they get military support, get a lot of medical staff, maybe a couple, another sniper. Right, so now we've got those spawning in secret missions. And if I find... Okay, so how have I done this? Oh, right, yeah, okay, I forgot about that. So we've got containers for specific mission types. Oh wait, so if I copy these and I say these are also part of the secret missions. These really need to have multiple types, I think. So I can reuse them, give them different names. Just trying to think of the data structure. Trying to think what dictates the container data. This, right. Okay, so the way this works is we randomly pick a container and then randomly pick items that go into those containers. Yeah, I think I've missed some critical thing here where a container should have its own loophole and then the container should, whatever, right? If I just hit go on this and then we hit go on here. Yeah, I figured we would hit an error at some point because I've introduced some new information. How does it get empty item types though? Yeah, okay, so I need to put a guard around that because that's going to keep happening, but I also need to make the game kind of stop functioning when that happens. Oh, come on. Why has that ended up? Is that part of this? Nope. Loot box. Okay, If not, it's empty. Else, then what we need to do is output. Somewhere I've got some log outputs I can steal. Just go for my item container somewhere in here, presumably. There we go. Right, requisition that. Put that in here. And I think it's, if I do this, I can... how do you... Have I done that somewhere else? I think I'm getting confused. Oh, right, yeah, it's just percent something. I think it's percent %s, and that gives you the string. So this would be failed to get item types for container of type %s, and then you do comma, and we do this. Now hang on, have I missed something else there? Oh, is it after? Oh, I see. Which implies, yeah, so I need a, do I have a type to string somewhere? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Mission structs. Okay, so if I go, what is it? Static, string, mission type. I'll be more explicit if I can. Which, pass this in. Type. Then I should. There we go. And then it simply return medical military. Yeah, get rid of the brakes. Okay, then we can do this. Back in here. You shouldn't know. Instructs this, that. Rebuild the solution. Oh, Does it actually need to be public static? I didn't think so. Oh, no, it does. Oh, it needs to be in a class as well. Right, whoops. Hang on. Let me stop this. Okay, well, this will allow it to continue at least. Um, I should be happy with that. In other languages, you just do a num dot string or something, but yeah. So this is expecting that, so I think it's star that. Yeah, there we go. Right. Perfect. And I probably want to make that return a const reference or something, I don't know. One of them's more efficient. It only happens in an error anyway, so hopefully we'll trigger this. I also need to create my own custom logging so I can find it a bit easier in the log output. Log temp is unique enough but not obvious, and I want to start splitting them into categories so I can log AI behavior differently and blah blah blah. And it's having a good old think about it. Right, cool. Whoops. This one. Okay, so if we hit go, pause. Yeah, failed to find item types for secrets. Well, that's exactly what I figured. Did I not? Yeah, I guess not. Well, it's gonna be that plus. Oh, get rid of that. Be5. Let's go with pistol because it's gonna be like secret servicey type thing. Just these two. So if I go secret. Something useful I can do for simplifying this is, for instance, have like mission type, and then I just go up here, and it's like type equals mission type dot medical, and then I can just pass it in to here, and then it's just doing that, and then when I come down here, I can do this same, but change it to civilian. These are just some useful things I probably should have done a long time ago. Military. And I don't have to keep replicating that every time. Kind of wish I did this in C++ as well, because then I can make these shorter. Sorry, it's been bugging me. There's a lot of things like this where I really need to I need to split this out into separate blocks of data and things at some point. I gotta do it all down here as well, of course. But we'll come on to that later. Anyway, so now there should be some items. So if I hit run and I stop this and now I do this again, we shouldn't have the same problems. Oh, right, hang on. We go all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, nothing about it at all. We are currently being killed, so let me walk over here. Oh, that's cool. Alright, so we're getting some pistols and things. So if I simulate this, so there's a bit of a wider mix of things. If I stop and simulate again, okay, so we've got this one here, which is one. This is a secret mission. Mission spawned, no, but it spawned the equivalent AI that would be in a secret mission. So if I select this person, potentially their name should be coming out from the loadout. Maybe not. Maybe I need to change that. That would make it a lot more useful. But if I just play. So this is a military mission. This looks like it could be a... Yeah, here we go. Let me just heal up whilst I'm being shot and replace these legs. And oh, I died. Yeah, so they're now all using different kinds of weapons. Some of them aren't equipping them at all properly in the right place whatsoever, which is kind of funny. And they're shooting from weird places. However, they are in fact spawning different kinds of AI with different types of loot boxes and things every time. It's pretty instant. So yeah, that's really cool. Nice. Yeah, so they've got knives. They've got, I don't know, SMGs. They've got nothing apparently. I need to figure out why some of them aren't spawning with any things at all. That's exactly the kind of thing I should put a log message in for, but yeah, there you go. Wonderful, right, so let me just try and sort a couple of things out then. Because now that's working a bit more consistently, it would be nice to have slightly better information. So in here, have the loadout name, but in here, do we have like name? So I could do is it set? It calls them like AI something something and something, so I'm wondering is dead. Shoot. Let me have a look at this. Hang on, let me wipe that. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, I need to whatever. Right, and set water name outliner. I mean, sure, but that's not quite. That's not quite what I had in mind. I mean, I can just, um, it seems like I am current stats load up. Instance contain a name, character. Oh, okay, do I have just a regular old name property I can use? Nope. Okay, cool. I shall create one. Let's keep it simple. Add it in here. Ref string character name. I come in here, and then we just do character name equals loadout name. That should, cool, that will come up. This is going to be, put it in stats. Okay, cool. So now we can at least see their name somewhere. I'll figure out how to make them change stuff another time. So now I can see which ones aren't getting items equipped correctly. And I also, before I forget, want to go into the task system. Somewhere we are outputting logs of tasks. Yeah. So I don't think I need this anymore because I know it works. Okay, that will happen on the next restart at least. Right, so yeah, I definitely need to change how all of this functions. So for a start, if I come up here, I go up to medical, and I do find selected lines, type. I come down here, we go civilian. Type. I'll just do this whilst I'm here because it really does take a second. So that, 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 that. Oh, alright, my bad. Find this, select that, do that, do that, do that. Good, right, so now we can not have to worry about copying and pasting them as such. So in here, if I do this now, okay, so some of these don't have weapons. So if I go on this guy, it should have a name somewhere in the stats. You can see there, water, hunger, and rest, draining. Ain't that something? So snipers, yeah, that's what I figured. So for some reason, these snipers aren't loading their relevant meshes somewhere here. Okay. And it should use their name. So if we go to the content browser, and we go weapons, that'll be because there isn't one. Interesting. I've actually added an axe. What about this? I haven't even assigned it to anything yet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the simplicity of stuff like this. It's completely disproportionate. But whatever. I mean, for instance, do I have a... Yeah, I've got it in here. So I could come down to here and like give the... this is an example. So if I change them sniper guards to using an axe and I recompile and I hit go, oh sorry, and I hit this, then in theory, assuming any of them have spawned with them, oh, have they not? Oh, have I not made a loadout for the military? Ah, this is the military sniper. Ah, okay. Right, sorry. So if I hit that and then... Oh, sorry, simulate. Haha, they have the axes very poorly attached. Okay, cool. Right, so I know it works. Um, cool, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it's the sniper rifles and what's this guy supposedly got? Oh, he's just civilian. Have I even made one for civilian? Oh yeah, they got a pistol. And I'm guessing I haven't made a pistol either. Okay, so I am literally missing the two weapons that aren't spawning. So, I mean, that's pretty understandable. If I haven't made it, it doesn't find one. So, I probably ought to put a log in that right now because otherwise I will forget. Let's think about this one. Um, right, so if I do this, mesh found equals this, and then I return if mesh found. And then we requisition the log from our, might as well be from something else. This. Okay, and we want this to be at S and that should be something different. Right, hang on. Mesh found. Right, and then we go else. That mesh found. Okay, sorry, it's a little convoluted at the moment. Oh, right, so no mesh string set in item for the percent s item data dot name. Huzzah. Give it one of those. No mesh string set, and then this will be no mesh found. Yeah, no static mesh object found for that. Oh, if not mesh found, there we go. Something like that, I guess. That will clean it up a bit. That's a bit nicer. I quite like these being on the same line. Not on the same line now. I've changed my mind on that one. Right. Okay, so cool. Right, I should at least be informed thusly. Okay, so this seems to be working, but again, it's a bit crap at the moment. Because we've got all these mission types and things, but what I've got is a variety of boxes that can spawn, but those boxes here, they're like linked to a single mission type. Like the data structure's just wrong, basically. Can I figure this one out again real quick? Survival game. Project this. They should have like most things. Okay, cool. So if I create a new one and call it mission diagram class. Right. So this is, oh, I didn't call it missions. So what we have firstly is a need to import code again. Okay, I'm guessing it just remembered where I last pointed it to. Fair enough. I hope that's the case and I'm not editing the wrong one. That would be most unfortunate. Survival test, source, survival test. Hmm. This is awkward because I haven't done this in a while. Realistically, I need to start again. So what I'm going to do is delete this because this isn't actually functional code at the moment. So in fact, I'm going to delete this as well. And we're going to go from the model, code import Oh, uh, add root node. Let's call it main. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Can I not import directory? No. Okay, fine. Add model, database, core modeling, class. Customize pattern on import. Okay, and should be able to, yeah, there we go. Right. So we're going to point this back at it, and this is going to generate all of the code for me. So I don't have to figure it out again. That should be it. I'm going to leave everything on by default. Welcome to Enterprise Architect, basically. Goodness me. Close. Sorted. And now we have a duplicate that also automatically did a lot of table generation and things for me, which is pretty cool. I don't really need most of these, so I'll get rid of them at some point, but it's fine. Cool, so this is an exact mirror of our current code. So if I come into here, yeah, so this is all table stuff. That's cool. Missions, mission types, loadout. Okay, that's cool. Right, so what we need is I don't really need most of this. Right, so what we're actually wanting to create is the data structure for this. So it's basically going to be this, 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 tables. We're looking for the structure for them. Here we go. Then it's container data, mission type, loadout data, item data. I think that's everything. Okay, so now we should be able to right. So this is a mirror of everything we've got. And the problem we've got at the moment is the container data relates to one mission type. And then we have the mission item data, which is separate to the containers. So, yeah. I don't know how I managed this. Maybe I thought of one system after the other and didn't put two and two together, but what we've essentially got is this comes in and then these are all like linked like this. So you know this relates to all of these by their type. So you can have like any kind of container holding any kind of item. But what we actually want is the mission container to have a link to mission item data. And then you can say which containers can spawn in which missions, and then consequently, which items get brought in are relevant to the container information, not the mission type. And actually, what we want, so this container data, we need something in between. So ideally, we want a class here. So this would be mission containers. And this would have ID as usual. And then it'd be container ID mission type. I think if I select this, is it missions, mission type, right? So then this doesn't strictly link to this, but it's got a sort of an association to that. This has a direct association to that. Oh, so this should actually be instead, this should be container item. And this should probably have obviously the usual ID. Container ID, item ID. Yeah. And we might still want to have mission specific items so that it always spawns them in a random container. So after it's set up all of the basic information, then it's fine. But then now we have this. And that. And this. Because yeah, this is just for any mission of a certain type. So when we spawn a mission of type secret, all mission containers that could spawn in secret spawn, and then it gets its container data, because the same container could be used across multiple missions, and then the container items are set. So this is the structure that I want to produce. And then this could also exist. So this is a sort of an association. This will have a direct. So yeah. Uh, yeah, I suppose. And there we go. Right. Let's just play it out real quick. Oh, no. There we go. Looks a bit better. Cool. I've forgotten how to do all the shortcuts. Isn't there somewhere? Oh, right, yeah. So I go line start. Oh, Control Shift A. Was close. And then you can do the same type. Haha. All right, whatever. It's slightly better. Okay, so this is what we're going for. Yeah. Okay, so I need to create some more structs and basically redesign the data structure in here. But the way this will work is I take this. This will come down here. And essentially, rather than this mission type thing, whatever, there would be a create mission container data, which would then have the name of the container and the type. And then you'd also have this, which rather than this type takes in the name of the container as well. So that's where we're going with this. But I think I need to stop because I've been in like a 2 hour call before this and my voice is just basically dying. So cool. All right. I will I'm trying to think. I guess I'll come off stream and then start it up again to do a separate one so I don't have to split the video or something. Or I could try something else. And let me just check how that works because I've not split videos from Twitch before in the video producer. I'm not sure whether you can or not. Share, export, thumbnail. So I can't do it in Twitch, but can I do it on the other end in YouTube perhaps? Just check before I go any further. It'd just be trivial to just stop the stream and start again doing something else. But I've never actually checked this before, so that's interesting. One of the videos I put out the other day's got a fair amount of views on it. I'm surprised. And I really need to figure out this whether it's made for kids thing or not, because I think that drastically changes. It's usually no. But I do need to remember to go and set that stuff up. So if I go to editor, yeah, okay, so I could upload the video. If I do a new cut, I'll figure this out another time. Anyway, I'll just for the sake of simplicity, I'll stop streaming and then update what I'm doing. Because I can't be asked to separate a video manually at the moment. But it's getting closer. Again, I've figured out how I want it to work. It's close to how it should work already. It's just a bit of logic tweaking. And then I need to set up the multiple areas so it splits into a nice grid pattern. So you would set the size, but then it would divide the size into even numbered grid sections automatically using some maths. Get the closest grid that the point you've got is in, get the extreme X and Y and Z, and then figure out positioning and things. It'll be trivial once I start doing it, because it will just be an incremental for I something plus plus yx type job, and it just generates them until it runs out of them to generate, basically. So whatever. And I need to fix the highlighting system as well, because I think it's working but not good enough. Anyway, that'll be it. I will be back very quickly. So I'll see you guys around. Yeah.